Good morning. Thank you for the gift of your time this morning and for supporting all of us who are affected by suicide. And thank you to my dear friend Govan for inviting me to share my story with you. My name is Lisa Carmoli Viscardo, and my younger brother, my only brother, Mike, died by suicide on May 29th of 2019. That day I experienced a loss like no other. It was catastrophic, soul-shaking, devastatingly painful, a life-altering whirlwind of emotions, unlike anything I've experienced before or since. It was by far the worst day ever for our family. That day today for us became full of questions, few answers, and immense amounts of pain, with little relief in sight. In the midst of those first hours, days, and months, I carried so much raw emotion, so much confusions, the what-ifs, the should-haves, the could-haves, the guilt and burden of not having a nice, neat, compact way to tell the world how my brother died. It catapulted me into isolation without me even realizing it. I was extremely fortunate in the early days to have friends and coworkers who came to me to tell me their stories of loss. There was such consolation at those times, knowing that there were people in plain sight just like me. It made the days a little more bearable. However, as time went on, those conversations became less and less. Life moved on for everyone except me and my family. And while we were standing still and alone in that storm of emotions, we were suddenly removed from the world. Being stuck on the outside and removed from life is why I began seeking resources for people who have experienced the loss of a loved one, just like me. I found a group near me in Conshohocken in September of 2019, 3 months from the time that my brother left this life. I attended my first loss survivor meeting, and good fortune, meeting Mike was on my side as I found the perfect fit. The group was welcoming. There were people facing exactly the same things that I was, who lost their loved ones, and there were even those who lost their loved ones at the same time frame as me. It was the right spot, and I even knew that it was because one of our moderators had a brother named Michael as well. The attendees were wonderful and welcoming, and it was despite the pain that they all felt at varying points on their journey that they had this hope. They had hope rooted in the love for their persons lost. Every meeting we have ends with a good memory or something positive that we each need to do to buoy ourselves until our next meeting. We leave feeling uplifted, and in those very early days in the beginning, when a good day is hard to find, these people understood the meaning of a good day. The beauty of our group space is that we're given a safe place to be ourselves, and some days that's not very pretty, and talk about the things that are hard. But for me, it's a place I can talk about and remember Mike. I can remember how much I missed him, how much I love him, his musical talents, how badly I feel that I missed all of those signs when I saw that something was wrong and I never verbalized what I saw. I can even talk about the great gifts he gives me after his passing and how he keeps giving them to me in my daily life, and how I want him remembered for the life he lived and not the way he died. It's an exceptional gift to be around people who understand exactly what you live each and every day. To hear their stories, learn about their loved ones, share their trials, and witness their strengths as they face daily challenges. You feel and carry their thoughts and love with you always. There's an assurance in knowing there are people experiencing this loss too. They understand the guilt, the way you choose on who gets to know how your loved one died on any given day. Because some days you don't feel like going into a big explanation. They understand that some days you become upset with yourself for stressing over the little things in life that aren't really that important. No one has the exact same loss in our group because they didn't lose my person, they lost their own person. but the shared experience becomes our bond. This new family helps you to know that you survived the worst day of your life, and you can live a hope and future confident in the fact that you never, ever have to live that day ever again. There's hope to be found in this knowledge. There's a feeling of hope within our group that when you're sitting there having been stripped to the core and feeling entirely exposed and afraid of facing life without your loved one, that it can be turned into an opportunity for you to grow and to love the one you lost all the more. Groups like ours teach us that despite the heartbreak, we can find consolation in the good things when we look for them. We can be grateful for the time that we had knowing our loved ones, and even look forward to the time we will spend with them in the future, albeit it will be very different in our futures. I am here today because of my support group family, and because my brother lived. Because Mike lived, I'm now a member of this club that no one really wants to be in. Because Mike lived, I found a community of people who have become my family out of a shared grief experience. Because Mike lived, I can offer my hand to those who need it on this journey. Because Mike lived, I live my life more authentically. Because Mike lived, my life is more beautiful, even though it was tragically broken on the day he died. Being Mike's big sister is an honor, and I am so thankful that our family had him for 40 years. He left a huge break in my heart on the day he died, but he also left me the tools that I would need to fill that void. The friendship and support of my lost survivor group helps me to fill the cracks in my heart daily with healing and love. Support for lost survivors is an important piece of filling the fissures in our hearts and lives. Without knowing there are others sharing this journey, many of us may be lost to grief, heartbreak, and brokenness. Having a group of people we can depend on, who draw from this common experience, who can share the ups and downs of grief with us, is an integral part of this healing process. It's been said that grief is the final expression of love that we have in our hearts for the people who are no longer with us. Lost survivor groups help us weave this grief and love into the fabric of the people we are. The necklace that I wear today is a reminder of how things that cause you to be broken can also transform you. It's based on the Japanese art of kintsugi. On the one side, this heart is broken, kind of like how my heart broke the day my brother died. However, on the side that I wear outwardly, you will see the cracks are all filled with gold, and the heart is more beautiful because of its brokenness. Lost survivor groups help us fill these cracks. They are some of the glue and the gold that transform our personal tragedies and heartbreak into something beautiful and strong. Thank you again for your time today.